Welcome back to East London. A terrific day of action, but have we left the best until last? Hungary, the Philippines and Chinese Taipei winning in the afternoon. Japan beating USA in a thriller. Holland just sneaking past India. And it's time for our final match of the evening. The home nation, England A, up against Italy. Your commentators, Jim White and Phil Yates.
Thank you very much indeed, Tony. Yes, it's the end of a very refreshing day. Lots of good action. We've seen some quality stuff. We've seen some one-sided matches this evening. Well, it's been really tight and tense stuff. The Dutch must be feeling $1 million right now. They've beaten not just the Indians, but the Indian supporters.
Yeah, a lot of high drama here. Your call, Phil. Why should we be surprised? I expect some entertainment from these two countries as well. England A up against Italy. Know each other's games very well. Ooh, look at that. Just Italy. And that might be an indication of just how close it's going to be. But one thing about pool, doesn't matter who you're playing, they all occupy the chair the same way. If you can park them in their chair.
First rack, Italy to break.
And in this format, you can do that. In an ideal world, you'd like them to have to get their pants pressed when they get up. Rack number 1 in the race to 7.
You saw the interview there with the Italians. Cheeky smile on the face of Fabio Petroni when he thought about the possibility of beating the English. It's an enticing prospect for the Italians. They would love it. 1 in 3 in. The only problem for Petroni and Moratori. Look at the two. Possible, though, to lay a pretty good snooker.
Oh, he took a flyer at the 9. Has he gotten away with it? Yeah, it looks like he did. He went at the 9 there. Fabio grinning away over there. You gotta like a man that smiles when he fights.
I'm all for aggression, but very, very ambitious.
Oh, has he left it? Very close. Well, Fabio's off wide open. Very good safety from Darren Appleton. This English side is yet to drop a rack. They're in danger here. Oh, Fabio didn't hit that one very good. He wanted to bring that cue ball out just a snitch to make this combination a lot easier. The 4-9 is on. And down it goes. Italy opened their account, and for the first time, England A lose a rack. Bruno Muratori, Fabio Petroni. It's just the start, Bruno. It's not supposed to be hard work yet.
Judged this very nicely, and then we saw the unique celebration of the Italians, just touching fingers. No high fives, just understated. Why waste all 5 when you can use 1?
Karl Boys on the right, Darren Appleton on the left. Fresh off their performances in Doha. Karl Boys, in fact, a semi-finalist in the recently completed World 9-Ball Championships. Darren Appleton won the event last year. A formidable pair. These guys obviously didn't read their resumes.
Wasn't after being the architects of a whitewash in the first round. That's the first rack England have lost in this tournament. This might be the second.
Difficult shot at the one. But it does look like it cuts into the far corner. And the shot could well offer some positional rewards as well. Tricky slice back. Wow.
And although it was only grazing the green, the cue ball, the fact it did help matters. Just sucked a little pace out of the white and left a thicker cut on the two than would have been otherwise.
Extension.
It's a tricky cutback, Phil, enough so where they feel it warrants a further look. Been playing some solid pool of late as well, Fabio Petroni. Been one of Italy's bankers for so many years. Former Mosconi Cup player. He didn't do too badly in Doha either, Phil, did he?
Acquitted himself well. He beat Dimitri Jungo 11-6 in the last 64. And Molen Manalo from the Philippines, really good player, 11-7, before suffering an 11-10 defeat, a heartbreaker against Carlo Biardo.
Raj upstairs. Sep side Ronnie just still enjoying the atmosphere here a little bit. It was a great fight back from India. Falling just short. A lot of disappointed fans went home. Just overcut at 5, but you can see where the cue ball's finished. Back down in behind cover.
Well, remember in the first rack when Muratori tried to chip in the 9 ball, got away with it, and they've got away with that one as well.
Extension.
Don't know whether you and Ted mentioned it previously, but Raj Hundal and Ronnie O'Sullivan actually represented England in this event in its very first year as partners. England having 2 teams that year. The second was Daryl Peach and Steve Davis. So don't think Ronnie O'Sullivan doesn't know his way around a pool table. That's another mistake extracted from the Italian pair, and this is going to be costly as well. This is not the sort of start that England was looking for. And I know somewhere in the arena, maybe not necessarily in the crowd, but not far away, Chris Melling and Daryl Peach had their eye on a monitor.
Yes, I just sensed last night they were bristling a little when they were described as England B. They think they're as good as anyone. Maybe a bee in their bonnet.
Nine follows the same pattern as the opening rack. It's 2-0 to Italy. And the high finger once again.
Well, in both racks they've had the run of the ball, but there's no point in having it if you don't take advantage of it.
England A in your picture, England B close by. And they're all good friends, all four of them. You could shuffle that deck around in any way, Phil, and you're going to be putting out a formidable pair.
Yes, although they live in various locations, Allentown, Pennsylvania, Blackpool, all over, all four of them, they were telling me earlier this week, were born within a 20-mile radius in the county of Yorkshire.
A ball down and 2 balls passing the head string, making it a legal break. But nothing on offer for the one. But they have control of the table.
Like the ponytail, Jim. I remember when Peter Ebden had one of those. He'd struggle now.
Didn't quite get cover. It's a good containing shot.
Well, doesn't hang around, Karl, boys. Normally very decisive. Former winner of the World Series of Speed Pool.
This is a good effort. Much better effort, that one from England A. In the game of 9-ball, it really is important to stay in the moment and stay positive, because you're going to have your ups and downs. And this is the chance. This is the chance that England has been waiting for. Intended double kiss on the one. It's going to take a good positional effort, though, to land on that 2 next. The 2, the blue on the right-hand side. Darren just looking at the path. He's going to try and take the cue ball softly into it. Beautifully played. Touch of a surgeon.
Time and time again he plays those shots absolutely delightfully. Intricate, accurate.
Attention.
Even after dropping the first 2 racks, they stayed positive. Waited for the opportunity. Well, that was dangerous. Karl really didn't want that cue ball anywhere near the 9, but he's all right. But Darren's going to have to come with a good shot here to get back up table from the 3 to the 4.
You know, Jim, that was so close to a self-imposed snooker. Full of contact on the 9, it would have been. Position, though, retrieved with a top-notch shot.
Yeah. The opportunity again presents itself. Just a little quick, and he was up off the cue very fast. It's a bank shot that in the pool world, most of these top players expect to get about 90% of the time.
Yes, plenty of room past the 9. That wasn't a concern. Appleton's been very good in this rack so far. He's played 2 delightful shots, but that was a bona fide mistake.
Extension.
Going from the side cushion, though, this is not a gimme. A million miles away.
No, you're right about that. But it was definitely one that Bruno Muratori would like to have had over again. Now, can he flick this in? He's really going to have to spin the cue ball here. Try and flick this in off that bottom cushion.
This is the kind of pot that Appleton doesn't miss.
Yeah, you watch that cue when Darren delivers it through the cue ball. Right straight through on the intended line. Never wavers. He is as sound fundamentally as anybody that plays the game. And he is one of the best in the world. England open their account. It's a 2-1 lead to Italy, but they're off the mark. England A. There'll be more pool action following the break.
.com, proud sponsors of the World Cup of Pool.
And I'll see your true colors shine through. See your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors.
Happy, spinning, clapping, laughing, dancing in the blackness of magic. Get it, have it, bag it, throw yourself on the airplane and fly like magic. You and me, no one else, nothing else but us right now.
More places, more choices, more often. This is Generation EasyJet.
Do you own a company or an online shop? Are you an estate agent or a car dealer? Are you from London or maybe Scotland? Are you looking for a great new web or email address? Then choose from over 700 new domains. Pre-order yours for free before someone else does and link it to your website, oneandone.co.uk.
That's Father. We need some excitement.
Can you do anything for us?
Money back as a free bet on losing first goal scorer, correct score and scorecast bets. Man United beat Man City. Available in shop, online or download the app now. That's excitement you can't refuse. Ladbrokes, game on.
The security features in Everest UPVC windows are rigorously tested, and they're now up to 50% off. Find out more at everest.co.uk.
Your home for sport.
888.com, proud sponsors of the World Cup of Pool.
We come to the end of the fourth day of competition in the 888.com World Cup of Pool at the York Hall in Bethnal Green. But one very serious issue yet to be decided. Will Italy cause an upset, or will England A go into the quarter-finals and complete the last 8 lineup?
Karl Boys and Darren Appleton, the number 2 seeds in this event. Italy number 15. On paper, you'd think there could only be one winner. And that won't do English fan support any good at all. A dry break and a perfect opportunity for Italy to move further in front. Tricky little shot here. He may just leave the opening, not try and get too close to the 3.
Yes, the gap between the 4 and the 6 is quite obviously wide. But he's left perfect position.
See a shot like that, and you see a man with a lot of confidence. Confidence breeds courage. That's a good shot as well.
England have got the impressive twin CVs, but it must be remembered both of these 2 players for Italy have won on the Euro Tour, which is a very competitive environment indeed. Fabio Petroni has gained 2 such titles. Moratori, he succeeded in Malaga in 2007. And when you win one of those events against a very big field indeed, you know you're playing well.
And they have a lot more experience playing with each other. Oh, he needs this to slow down, and he knows it's not going to. All about cue ball control. How often have we seen it? The speed of the table comes up this time to bite Italy. But Fabio knew it as soon as he hit it. Just caught that cue ball a little too flush. Tough escape this way. Only half a ball exposed. Well, what about that? What about that? If that was golf, it would have been a shot because he whiffed. You've got to see that again. He whiffed. He tried to cue it and missed it altogether. Ended up hitting it and fluked the 8. I've never seen that.
In golf, they call it an air shot. It is a penalty.
Phil, in all my years of commentating pool, I have never seen that. And with the buzzer going off, he had enough presence to play the shot again and execute it successfully.
Yes, and play the shot just in the nick of time. And now look at this 9-ball.
An unbelievable turn of events right there.
Not being biased here, Italy have had some good fortune, and this was extraordinary, Jim. Queuing up. Oh, missed it completely. But then second time around, look at the result. A 6-8 combination.
Remarkable. You can watch pool for the rest of your life, and everybody's watching the monitor right now, and they're giggling. And even Bruno and Fabio are giggling. The only two people that don't find any amusement in that are those two.
I think Karl Boyes wants to smile, but he's frightened to.
And I'll tell you what, how astute was Michaela Tab, because he did not touch the white there. And no foul was called, rightfully so.
Rack 5, Italy to break, leading by 3 racks to 1.
I remember in the World Championship at the Crucible, Doug Mountjoy badly topping the white ball when it was close to the side rail against Neil Folds many, many years ago, maybe a quarter of a century ago.
Well, I remember in the first year of the World Cup, the Croatians cold topping a cue ball as well when a ball was over a puck, but I've never seen an air shot. Dry break, courtesy of Bruno Muratori.
Well, it was nice to see he was chastened about it, sitting there laughing his head off.
Darren's looking at the billiard. The 2 and 3 are side by side on the left-hand side of the table. But he's looking at the billiard, roughly where to position the cue ball to go after the 9 from the 4. Because the 4 doesn't pass.
Extension.
Maybe the bizarre loss of the previous rack will have ignited the fire in the English bellies.
Got to be careful. No, he didn't pull back near far enough. Now that shot isn't on. And he was a bit quick. He got up, he looked at the shot clock. I thought they still had an extension, Phil, and if they did, they should have taken it right there.
Shot clock, yes, in operation. Couldn't find the rest. Not recommended.
Well, he still took a flyer at the 9, and it didn't look like it was on, and he missed it.
Reset.
It certainly didn't look like, from the cue ball's positioning, that it was possible to make the 9. Darren thought otherwise.
Don't know whether you agree, Jim, but in their opening contest, the English oozed assurance. They're not doing that at the moment, but, and I'm not being partisan here, at all. You have to say the Italians are having more than their fair share of fortune.
Got a kick at this. He's had a look from the back to see if the 4-6 offers a combination to the corner. Good news, bad news for Karl and England. The escape accomplished. The bad news is you've just left it plumb for Italy.
Yes, that good news, bad news. That's like winning a tenner on the lottery and then discovering the stock market's crashed and you've lost your life savings.
This 5 passes the 9 into the corner. And if somehow England contrive to go 4-1 down, the alarm bells better start going off.
You know, Jim, they came through a tough test in the first round, the Italians beating David Alcadi, a good player from Spain, and his partner, Esposito. But overcoming the English, that's an entirely different proposition.
And they said as much, even in the interview. We already have one England team through to the last 8. Chris Melling, Daryl Peach, England B. England A are in serious jeopardy of not being able to join them. And 4-1 it is.
When in London, do as the Romans do. They're 4-1 up and more than halfway to victory. The England B team there. Shake of the head from Chris Melling, and Daryl Peach, I think, is surprised by this as well.
They'd really like to see their pals win. They'd like nothing better than to oppose them in the final.
Yes, that would be something. 2 nations, the host nation is granted 2 teams. They've never played each other in the final before. It would be a first. Currently, there's a world-ranking snooker event going on in Shanghai, the Shanghai Masters. There's a possibility there of an all-Chinese final if Deng Junhui and Zhao Guodong come through their matches in the semi-finals tomorrow. It's unusual.
Rack 6, Italy to break, leading by 4 racks to 1.
Fabio with the break. And his country with the lead. Nothing but a bank shot available on the 2. And he won't even consider it if there isn't a chance to get position to the 3. And it doesn't look like it'll be easy. That's the very reason he refused it. It looks like Darren's going back for his jump cue, so that measled cue ball must not have been married to the 6. So he's just got to jump over, looks like the 5 ball.
Let's have right on the spot there, look, making sure there's no infraction of the rules. Oh, instead, no breaking of the rules, just brilliance.
Difficulties mastered or opportunities won. What a shot from Darren Appleton there.
has the touch paper been lit? You know for certain England capable of going on a sustained run of success. And that's the kind of shot that can really give them belief.
Just slightly overcut that, and that's why he doesn't have ideal position for Karl. And again, a little straighter than he would have liked. Getting close to the 7. Not so easy. And it's just not coming easy for England at all. Once again, cue ball much closer to that side cushion than they would have liked.
Yes, this is missable. Well done.
That was an exceptional shot from Karl Boys under extreme duress. This will do their confidence the world of good.
It's been a while coming, but there you see England at their best. The three lions have roared in rack 6. Italy still in front, but England now with the feel.
.com, proud sponsors of the World Cup of Pool.
I'm here to see Harold Cooper. Tell him it's Raymond Reddington.
Who really is he? What does he want?
One man, his name is Ranko Zamani. You want him. I want him. Now, I'll give you Zamani, but from this point forward, I speak only with Elizabeth Keane.
Well, I'm here.
I'm going to make you famous, Lizzie.
The Blacklist starts Friday, 4th of October at 9 on Sky Living HD.
The new, more powerful Octavia VRS. It's not your everyday family car.
Skoda, simply clever.
Can you feel that? That's Double Delight Hat-Trick Heaven. Bet on the first goal scorer, and if he scores first, you win. If he gets another, we'll double your odds. And if he gets a hat-trick, we'll treble them. If you love football, you'll love a bit of Betfred. Sign up now for a no-deposit £10 free bet.
In the beginning was the beat, and the beat was strong.
I would say definitely have a look at eHarmony. They seem to care the most about getting you a good match.
Join eharmony.co.uk today and review matches for free.
At Esso, we've developed a specially formulated fuel. A fuel designed to give you courgettes.
Esso, fill up your club card when you fill up your tank.
For once I can touch what my heart used to dream of long before I knew.
.com, proud sponsors of the World Cup of Pool.
the York Hall at Bethnal Green. Great venue for pool, and we've seen some cracking matches today, and the last one might just be the best of the lot. It's got that feel about it. Italy trying to cause a surprise. They lead England 4-2, but England have just won rack 6 in fine style. And of course, because of that, they get to break in the 7th.
Looking for a run. A good break required here. Well, we got the one off the break in the side. It's the only ball that was pocketed, but it's got a clear look at the 2, but tough to tell whether or not it passes to any pockets. Certainly won't pass to the right hand. Left hand, nope, nothing available there either. Defense, nothing more. Tuck it right in behind the 4. Looking for the 2 cushion escape here. Catch the 2 off the side. Darren had a quick look, and just looking at him, he just shook his head. So, going to be kicking at this, nothing more.
And that kind of subtle rub of the green makes so much difference.
But you have to be mentally tough, and there aren't many, if anybody, more mentally sound than Darren Appleton. It's like a bulldog. You have to be able to fade this sort of action, Phil, because that's pool.
Yes, he's multifaceted, Appleton. Doesn't just play in big tournaments all over the place. Not frightened to take on big money matches either.
Overcut it, missing it on the pro side effectively.
Quarterfinal lineup almost complete. Looking at the list of the seeds eliminated, the highest seed eliminated from the tournament so far, that is China. They're the number 3 seeds, or they were. USA number 4. England, though, with defeat here, would be the biggest casualties because they're the number 2 seed.
Yes, the defending champion Finland, top seed in this event, and they're through to the quarterfinals. Italy, a 7-3 winner over Spain, buying the opportunity here against England, and England whitewashing Australia for their passage through the last 16.
Now that was a bit of an arm ball from Petroni, put his shoulder into it, but it found the pocket nevertheless. Shouldn't assume anything at this stage of a match, but you have to look at the table and say 5-2, beckoning.
Getting closer and closer to a certainty, Phil.
On the mark, Bruno again.
They're a talented pair, these two Italians, and they play so well together. Business partners. I believe they still own that venue in Rome. Had it for a few years. A simple 9 for a 5-2 advantage. Just a smattering of applause, a very partisan crowd here, but you've got to appreciate what Italy is doing. They have put these favorites under tremendous pressure. Darren and Karl in the pre-match interview were talking about the break, that they had to work on it. They had to get better with the break, and they haven't had many opportunities to break here.
Well, I think Petroni and Moratori would be the first two people in this auditorium to say, yes, we've had a little bit of run, but then again, no point in having it if you don't take advantage, and they most certainly have.
Rackies, Italy to break, leading by 5 racks to 2.
Well, a chance for England as that one just crept in behind the blue 2. One more look. Bruno has always had the measure of the break. Recollect how well he broke in their defeat of Spain in round 1. The Kaiser in attendance. He knows what it's like to drink from the Victory Cup in this event. He partnered Torsten Homan a couple years ago to success. The event was played in the Philippines, and then he jumped on top of Torsten's shoulders.
Yes, and look who the Germans beat in the final. Kanjan Azri and Palajin from Thailand. Who would have thought they could possibly get that far, but they did. It just underlines the fact that in this World Cup, anything's possible.
He probably wishes that Darren and Karl would have shown as much vulnerability in the previous round.
Extension.
Or at least if it would have rubbed off on the England B team, because didn't Chris Melling and Daryl Peach play outstanding against Germany to take them out 7-0? But for the England A side, they just haven't found any form, haven't really been given that many opportunities. Half a chance here, Phil, at best. a tricky one, but they've got to go for it. They've got to try and wrest the initiative away from Italy.
Yes, there you see the gap between the cushion and the line ball. That's not an issue in the slightest. The biggest problem here is that 5-2 down, the English know mistakes. Doubly costly.
Nice little touch on the free as well to hold for the 2. Wasn't it Winston Churchill, Phil, that said that kites rise highest against the wind?
That's 2 Winston Churchills this week, Jim. You've got to complete the hat-trick at some point.
I actually do have the book. And I know you're a big fan of Yogi Berra. He's another one. Wrote a book on quotations.
Yes, the New York Yankees catcher, yes. My favourite from him. Nobody goes to that restaurant anymore. It's too overcrowded.
Big chance. They've got to take these last 3. Hopefully for England, this will steady the ship somewhat. Still in Italy's favor, but it'll be England with the break. And they'll try and continue on with that momentum. They've got to find a break, though, Phil. They've got to be able to do something and string some racks together. Muratori knows as much.
Yes, and one thing working for the English, their reputation. The Italians know that they are top-notch opponents, and they know that 4 racks from here for the English, well within their capabilities. Beating the host nation would be a real feather in the cap of the Italians. You just get the feeling if Boys and Appleton can
Rack 9.
Step up a gear, everything could turn around.
Racks to 3.
Karl broke so well in round 1. He's back to the garden spot. Let's see if it produces results. This looks good. That 2 spinning. Karl's eyes as he watches everything around the table, but what a chance. That was a great break and just what the doctor ordered.
Well, if England don't clear up with this chance, they'll be spitting feathers. Boys, on quite a few occasions, not potting them cleanly, but they're just about struggling in.
Doesn't have to do much. Again, just trying to work in sync, really. There's nothing difficult here. but just trying to be a part of each other's successes too here, Phil. I think I'll build a little momentum and positive energy.
We've seen lots of permutations in this tournament, heavy victories and close matches. One thing we haven't seen is a really unlikely comeback. Of course, Finland beat South Korea 7-6 from 6-4 down. But I think England coming back from 5-2 down would trump that.
Karl overhit that. And you can see he's just got a little too much angle, too close to the right cushion for Darren to dig and try and draw. Too much angle for that. He may have to leave him a tricky 9, just somewhere around the middle of the table. Oh, he's dropping behind it to play it up top right. Pretty good effort from Darren Appleton.
The English refused to lie down at 5-2. It was serious problem time.
Way to go, Daz. Way to go, Karl.
Guess who'll win?
You can do it.
.com, proud sponsors of the World Cup of Pool.
It still gives me the same feelings I had when I was a kid, with that sense of freedom. I would never have imagined that I would ever become a Knight of the Realm. I'm not that sort of bloke. I just ride my bike. I love it.
Good news! Yakult Light has fewer calories. One more reason why every day is a Yakult day.
That's Father. We need some excitement.
Can you do anything for us?
Money back as a free bet on losing first goal scorer, correct score and scorecast bets. Man United beat Man City. Available in shop, online or download the app now. That's excitement you can't refuse. Ladbrokes, game on.
With so many great offers like these Nature Valley multi-packs, only £1.19, your shop may take a little longer. It's shopping, but nicer.
I'm on my way home now.
I want you to fight.
If you hurt that little girl, I will find you.
The call. When one of the world's biggest online betting companies brings you an online casino, you expect something huge. Huge slot games. Huge blackjack. And huge roulette. Not to mention some of the biggest payouts around. And as for the live dealers, well, you get the idea. So with all this and up to £4 million in prizes paid out every day, Betfair Casino has landed in a big way.
Gary's cat is missing.
Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you. Have you seen my cat?
But don't worry, he seems to have it covered. Like with a new Peugeot 208, you don't need to worry about car insurance. It's covered for 3 years. So is all this. Only with the Just Add Fuel finance package. Oh look, there's Gary's cat. Drive away happy with Just Add Fuel, only from Peugeot.
Watch me beat David Hay, live on Sky Sports Box Office.
888.com, proud sponsors of the World Cup of Pool.
What a difference a day has made. Yesterday we had 3 7-0 whitewashes. Today, lots of close, very tense pool. Japan beating USA 7-6 to start the evening. That established a pattern. Holland then beating India 7-5. England A against Italy. No one would be surprised if that one went to the wire as well.
Black 10, England to break, trailing by 5 racks to 4.
It's actually starting to follow that script, Phil. This has all the earmarks of a 7-6 match one way or the other.
On the snap, Daz.
Big break, though, for Appleton. They've won the last 2 racks. Oh, he'd love to have seen that 2 keep tracking up table. It collides with the 5, and now a tricky shot. A lot of power exhibited by Darren there in that break.
He has 2 negatives for England here. Obviously the difficulty of the pot anyway on the 2, but also he then has to get position on the 4. No bargain.
Very close. Karl didn't really hit that one very well, but it was played with a modicum of safety in mind, Phil, simply because he knew he was bringing the cue ball down toward the colors. Now, Bruno can see this too. I don't think he can see enough to be able to make it in the corner.
Extension.
35-second shot clock here at the York Hall. Each team allowed 1 extension per rack. No, I didn't like that at all. He thumped his cue to the ground, but I don't think he's left it. It's just not nearly as dark as he'd like it to have been. Far too risky to take on that combination. Too much space between the 2 and the 7. The 2-9 would almost be like throwing caution to the wind. This is all going to be about safety. Depends how they see it. But such is the moment that they've got to take all the time available and think this one through. This is crunch time. Oh, I can't believe he won at the 9. Got lucky. He absolutely went for the 2-9 and got lucky to get it safe.
Yes, Karl Boys hit the nail on the head. He said, good cue ball. It's more than good.
Now, it was tough to see an easy safety, Phil. But I thought that they'd work something out that would have been at least a little bit more in the way of, you know, percentages.
Don't have one.
Jumped it, cleaned the table. They had already used their extension. What a hit on the 2. Just too much adrenaline.
He played that shot with 1 second left on the clock. I was watching it go down, and in the nick of time, the delivery of the cue, in the end, though, of it means possible end of rack.
And every chance for 5-5 now.
Collect the dots, guys. Collect the dots.
If it goes 5-5, of course it's numerically tied up, but the fact that England would have the break in rack 11 would suggest they have to be regarded as the favourites.
And given they will have won the last 3 racks in a row. So no prizes for guessing who's going to feel better about that 5-5 score.
Yeah!
Does that look like the picture of a guy that's tied 5-5?
Fabio floored. Gesticulations, couldn't believe his ill fortune. I think what hurt even more was the fact the 2 went in.
Well, he's got to try and stay in the present, because if you were offered Italy the chance at a race to 2 against the heavily favored England A team, they'd have said, where do we sign up? And that's what it is.
So Appleton out there on his own at the moment gives us a chance to tell you what's been happening in round 2. Finland-Korea, that was last night. The defending champions just about edging through. It wasn't an edge through for England B against Germany. A 7-0 whitewash and a consummate performance. The cueing of Chris Melling in particular was outstanding. Hungary, the qualifiers, they beat Russia 7-4. The Philippines, they weren't at their best, but they still had enough ammunition to beat Singapore 7-3. Chinese Taipei, they're a great pool powerhouse on the international scene. They beat Greece 7-1 today. That after Greece had whitewashed Australia in round 1. Japan were overjoyed to overcome the nation most synonymous with the game of pool, the USA.
Which brings us to the present.
Rack 11, England to break, 5 racks each.
And Karl Boys, if he could buy a good break, he might hand you a blank check. You can hear him. As soon as the 1 went in, he just said, be good. He's got a chance at the 2. It's not easy, but it's available.
One big shot from a big-time player. And it could be rack again to England. In fact, if the 2 is negotiated, and so is position, it should be another rack to England.
Yes.
I'll tell you, when he gets that look on his face and he gathers himself, it just never looks like missing Darren Appleton. And as much as he may have struggled in the preceding racks, he's a class player.
Well, if you filter down his individual record, one thing for me stands out, those back-to-back US Open wins. To do that against that level of opposition over in Virginia, an astounding achievement. World Masters champion as well. World 9-ball champion on his CV.
Yeah, he's building a Hall of Fame resume, no doubt about it. So highly regarded and respected. And his partner knows which end of the cue to use as well. Fabio can attest to that.
Yes!
Well, Boys is the junior member of this team. On most teams, he would definitely be the senior. 5 in the deepest of deep trouble. Now they're 6-5 ahead. Has the storm been weathered? We'll soon find out.
What a turnaround. They stuck to their guns, waited for their opportunities.
And so much to play for. One remaining available spot in the quarterfinals of this 888.com World Cup of Pool.
And there is so much pressure.
So there's the top half of the draw. Holland, Japan. England V already into the quarterfinals. Hungary, the qualifiers, the only unseeded nation, will play the Philippines. But who will come up against Chinese Taipei?
Nothing down. What a time for a dry break. But at least no shot at the one as far as England's concerned. But for Italy, a chance to get out of their seats. They've been there for a while. 4 racks in a row have gone to England. And I think it's fair to say that Italy really hasn't had much of a window of opportunity in any of those 4 racks they've lost.
Consultation. This is one of those situations where 2 brains are better than 1.
Push out.
You can see Darren with the wand. Looking to orchestrate a little defensive gem for Karl Boys. Side to side.
Nice work, Karl.
Jim, were you surprised with the Italians' push out?
Didn't have a lot of options, but I wouldn't have put it where they did, because that was a pretty easy safety. Obviously, Karl Boys played it as well as he could have asked for. Now Fabio off 2 cushions, trying to hit that one and leaving it to chance a bit. And this looks like it's makeable. He's going to have to lift the cue up very quick, because that cue ball is going to be striking, so you have to get out of the way as that white comes back.
Yes, and that kind of foul shot has already been played in this tournament. Alex Pagulayan. He kept the cue there for too lengthy a period, and it made a secondary contact. Nifty though, Appleton.
That could be the shot that keeps England hopes flying in this tournament. England A, that is. They're there.
Connect the dots, boys. Connect the dots.
We told you earlier, in their first round match, they whitewashed Indonesia 7-0, but winning this one in the manner they will have won it, that will give them a lot more satisfaction.
Yeah. I used to derive a lot of satisfaction of winning matches when I knew I wasn't at my best, Phil, because that's when you've got to dig deep. These guys have a lot of heart. Of that, there can be no denying.
Exactly.
But Italy has really pushed them in this match. They've had to produce. They stayed on course. The only real shot of panic that I can think of was that flyer at the 9 from Darren Appleton. They got away with it. Now from the 5 to the 6. Looks like it's going to be a deep draw shot. Deep draw off the side cushion and back over to the right for the 6 bottom left. This will be some cue power on display here. Not great. It's not bad either.
Under pressure, though, the kind of pot that can go astray.
Yeah, you definitely want it easier than this, Phil. Oh, that looked like staying on the table. 7 may just pass to the bottom left.
Italy retaining hope.
Bounce!
One of the shots of the tournament.
Get him, Daz.
Man, Darren Appleton. Hard man, great competitor.
Isn't he just?
Yeah!
Really roaring now. They beat Italy 7-5 from 5-2 down. They've shown great.
Way to go, boys.
They're into the quarterfinals.
I'll send you a PM, Daz. I'll upload it for you.